Today I'm going to show you how I refinish these chairs without any stripping or sanding and also give them some new upholstery. Hey, my name's Cole. When it comes to restoring and refinishing furniture, I am a repeat offender. The fanciest tool I own is a cordless drill. Being a father to this cool dude is my most favourite thing to do, and I believe that if I skate often, surely I'll remain forever young. These chairs have got plenty of potential. They're currently very tired, but I think with a refinish and some new upholstery, we can definitely breathe a little life into them and let them show off their beautiful character and style. The finish is almost gone in many places and the rest is looking pretty shabby, but you can see the grain of this oak is stunning. Other than a few little bits that need gluing here and there, they're actually structurally quite sound. This upholstery has certainly done its dash, and because these are actually going in our dining room, we will choose some upholstery to suit our palate. And I figure if we're getting new dining chairs, why not redo the whole dining room? So this is the dining room of our new house and it needs quite a bit of work. We're in the middle of renovating the whole kitchen, dining and living area. But for now, we're just going to focus on this room. So this is the room that the chairs that we're working on are going to come into. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rip up all the tiles, lay new tiles. I've never done that before. I'm going to build in some banquette seating across here. We're going to do some nice paneling up the wall with a nice picture rail. We'll repaint the ceiling and do all the decorating. The table's going to move across to the banquette, and then the new chairs that we're going to redo are going to go around the outside. So this room is already a little bit of a state, as you can see, as we are in the thick of getting everything sorted. But I figure why not show you this process as well, and then you can sort of see the chairs come in and make a completed space. I do think this might be more than one video, probably two. So this is going to be part 1 of 2. So we'll get all the flooring up, hopefully get maybe even the flooring down. We'll get the seats stripped, pick some upholstery, and in the next video, we'll finish the chairs and hopefully finish the rest of the room. So let's get stuck into it. Sanding and stripping chairs can be an absolute nightmare, and quite often you have to take the chairs apart to be able to get to all the places that need sanding, and I find stripping chairs is just super messy and extremely time consuming. Now, because the finish on these chairs is already extremely rough and pretty much gone in some places, what I'm going to do is use some sugar soap and a cream cleanser. Now you can also use Barkeeper's Friend, but bear in mind that that will work like oxalic acid and lighten the wood, which is great if that's what you're after, but in this case I am going to restain the chairs, so lightening them is not important. So I'm using a rough scourer to scrub down the chairs, and not only does that give them a really good clean, but it also removes quite a bit of the flaky and thin finish. So here you can see the before, and obviously the lighter chair is the one with the majority of the finish removed, and that's done quite a good job without any sandpaper or stripper. So I'm very happy with that, and I'll leave those in the sun to dry before we move on to the next step. I just want to give you a really quick rundown on this room. You are currently standing, sitting, whatever you're doing, you are in our living room, and behind you is our kitchen. There was a wall separating those two, but we got that taken out last week because we want to create a nice open living space. There is another living area in the house which we'll use on the evenings and the weekends, but this is more of our day-to-day space. We chose this as the dining area because of the light. It's basically got two big skylights in the ceiling, a nice big window behind me, beautiful trees outside, and I've got some nice double doors here going to the outdoor area. So it's got nice indoor-outdoor flow for the summer, perfect for entertaining. Currently this room is a lime green and a sort of brown colour with some purple undertones coming through. The ceiling is white. We are going to repaint the whole thing with an off-white, which we've used in some other communal areas of the house. That's by Farrow & Ball, and it's called Schoolhouse White. The panelling, we're going to do a nice rich dark brown with some red undertones, something a little bit bold, which will be nice, something different. And that should tie in quite nicely with this beautiful table we have here. This is our pride and joy. We got this at an antiques fair, and it's the old gardener's cottage door from Chatsworth Estate. So it's from roughly the 17th century, so it's very old. It's got some beautiful cast iron legs. Totally in love with this piece. And it's made of solid oak, so it ties in perfectly with the solid oak carver chairs that we are restoring in this video. The tile is currently a white, sort of smooth tile. Nothing wrong with it, it's just not our style. We want to go for more of a country cozy look, so we've chosen a limestone tile, and that should really tie in nicely with the colours we're using in this room. I was desperate for a break from removing the tiles, so I just started doing some filling of cracks and holes to prepare for the paint job. I'm now using a super fine steel wool and some water to wash the chairs down and remove the dried up sugar soap and cream cleanser. I also find that the steel wool works like a fine sandpaper, and it smooths out the surface, getting rid of any small imperfections in the wood. 2 tons of large limestone tiles have arrived. Time to get busy and work out how to install them. YouTube is my best friend here, and I learn plenty of tips from the pros. So I start with primer before moving on to the tiling. I actually really enjoyed the process, but it certainly didn't come without a few mishaps. Like here, after I cut it, I realized these tiles were in line, which is essentially what you want to avoid. And then after laying the adhesive and putting a little weight on it, I cracked this one here. But all in all, I was actually pretty proud of my effort. I then had to apply 3 coats of sealer, allowing 2 hours in between for each coat to dry. And then I have to wait about 48 to 72 hours before I can apply the grout. But at this point in the process, my wife and I are extremely happy with how these tiles are looking. We're very happy with our choice, loving the colours and the textures in the stone, giving nice country cozy vibes, which is exactly what we were after. It's now time for us to go shopping and try and find some upholstery for the seats. We know roughly what kind of colours we're after. We like burgundy, reddish, brownish tones, even some olive. But there are so many to pick from, it's actually a little bit overwhelming. I am quite partial to a bit of tweed. I wouldn't mind that myself. My wife also really likes it, but we found this is actually quite an expensive way to do it. It works out about $100 a metre. And because we're not just doing the chairs, we're actually going to do some seating cushions for the bench. Obviously, we want to keep the cost down as much as we can. So we start looking at a few other options here. These are actually curtains, but I think one of these is actually what we end up going for.
Hang on, I've got to find it. Yes. Oh, I saw it in green somewhere as well.
Yeah, that would be nice and green.
Well, now I've got to find it.
And this is the one we land on. It's got nice kind of red burgundy stripes through it, and it's got some kind of olivey tones in there as well. Really stoked with this one.
Can you actually order if you wanted to get like a few meters? Can you order it online or do you get it to come in? No, if you order it online, purchase it by form.
Grouting is one thing that I didn't actually research on YouTube, so I totally wing this. There's a very good chance that I'm not using the correct technique. But I think at the end of the day, I got the job done, and once the grout was dry, we were really happy with the way it looked. There wasn't anything super unusual looking, so I think I did it correctly. But by all means, if you have any tips, advice, or feedback, send it my way, because I've still got plenty of grouting to go.
You sit here. That's it. Sit and watch. Don't touch. Just looking. Sunny, stay here. Sunny, you want to go outside? Can you go through the lounge? How'd you go? Off. How'd you go? Come on.
Sunny, come here, please.
So at this point, I am quite nervous that when I go to wash off the excess grout, it's going to stain the tiles, but I did seal them 3 times, so I'm hoping for the best. Before applying the stain, I am going to use this pre-stain wood conditioner, and I just use a little steel wool to put it on. Gives the surface another quick buff as well. I position the camera so that you can admire that tree in the background. It's one of my favourites, looking absolutely lush. Ideally, you want to get the stain on within about half an hour of that wood conditioner drying, so I just work on one chair at a time. I opt for a walnut stain because it's the closest stain that I've got to the colour of the table, but what I'm doing is brushing it on and then wiping it off pretty much straight away so it doesn't soak in too much, because obviously walnut's quite a dark colour, and I find it gives me roughly the right tone. Sorry, Woody. As mentioned, this is part 1 of 2 videos. So in the next video, I'll build the banquette, do the paneling, paintwork, complete the last coat of sealer on the tiles, get the room styled, and of course we will complete the refinish of the chairs, and we will reupholster the seats with the fabric that we have chosen. Then we'll be able to reveal the complete room to you, and that video is going to be live on Sunday in 2 weeks time. So whenever this video has gone up, you can expect to see the final video 2 weeks from then. And now that I've said it, that will definitely keep me accountable. I have to get that video up, which means I have to get that room finished. But thank you so much for tuning into this one. I hope you've enjoyed the slightly different format, but you know, it's nice to keep it fresh. And if you're really interested in the tiling aspect, I do have another channel, Sophia and Cole. I'll leave that in the description. That's more of a vlog style channel, and that's where we put all of our detailed DIY content, as we are currently transforming our suburban house into a country cozy family home. Anyhow, I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. Please do me a huge favor and hit like, perhaps leave a comment, and please subscribe if you'd like to see more of these videos. And until next time, take it easy.